Pacific Island leaders welcome U.S. pledge to triple investment for Vicinity. Sydney. Pacific Island leaders welcomed a pledge with the aid of America to triple useful resource to the area to combat unlawful fishing, beautify maritime protection and address weather exchange, after decades of stagnant U.S. funding. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, in a video address to the Pacific Islands Forum in Suva on Wednesday, said U.S. investment for Pacific Islands would be tripled to $60 million a year for a decade, subject to approval through Congress. Some Pacific leaders are looking for to stability China's ambitions for change and safety ties within the area. Harris referred to as for countries to stand united, as bad actors are seeking for to undermine the international rules-based order, without naming them. We recognize that in latest years that Pacific Islands may not have received the diplomatic interest and guide that you deserved, she stated. Pacific leaders accumulating for the four-day forum see climate trade as the vicinity's predominant safety trouble, but tensions between China and America, and the wonder withdrawal of Kiribati from the discussion board, also are being discussed. It sincerely indicates the U.S. are back and need to play an energetic function, stated Palau President Sarangal Whips Jr. after Harris' speech. Sometimes due to our remoteness we get forgotten, so this become important, he told. The discussion board will speak a bid with the aid of China to sign an alternate and safety settlement with 10 international locations which have ties to China, that is opposed by means of some members. Palau has a defense dating with the U.S., diplomatic ties with Taiwan and monetary courting with China. The skies the restrict with the opportunity with China. That competition creates, on occasion, concerns approximately security. We lived through World War II and we don't need to see that again, he mentioned. The United States is concluding negotiations on a renewed fishing treaty with Pacific Island countries that has allowed U.S. vessels to fish in distinctive economic zones for decades, and is offering greater aid for maritime surveillance within the Pacific. Fiji Prime Minister Frank Bainimarama said the fishing treaty provided America a platform to stability strategic weaknesses within the Pacific. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese stated it changed into critical the U.S. became increasing aid, together with new embassies in Kiribati and Tonga. We very a whole lot welcome the Biden management's multiplied presence inside the area, he said, including strategic opposition changed into a backdrop to the conference. Solomon Islands, which is birthday celebration to the U.S. fishing treaty with the Pacific, currently struck a protection cope with China prompting challenge from America and its allies, despite the fact that Honiara mentioned it might not allow a Navy base. Palau's Fisheries Minister, Stephen Victor, stated tourism and fisheries have been the kingdom's only revenue assets, and U.S. funding had remained stagnant for 2 decades. Kiribati, also reliant on fishing, struck fisheries offers with China after switching diplomatic ties from Taiwan to Beijing in 2019, a month after the forum last met in individual. A Chinese Overseas Ministry spokesperson told an information briefing on Monday that China has loved good cooperation with the Pacific Island Forum for decades.